Oi, oi.
Hey up. Alright.
Hi, welcome back.
All the best.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know, 2024.
I was just looking yesterday. I think our last published podcast was like July.
Was it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So it's been a while.
It's like fucking a million miles away, isn't it?
I know. So you might have seen any of our sort of old regular listeners. I've had a little bit of a rebrand. Asked a few mates about sort of ideas. Everyone's sort of in agreement that the outdoor photography shows a little bit more
Suiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It suits more what we do because it's going to cover more aspects. And I think the Try podcast was what it was, but I think it was confusing, wasn't it? It didn't really scream photography. Even though I had tripod in it, it didn't scream that.
I think it all depended because obviously for what we do, it's outdoors, isn't it? Where tripod podcast is sort of like, it's just.
But I think this new name, this new rebrand, I think it's gonna help get found a little bit more as well. Because as soon as I typed in photography and Spotify, it came up as like the 5th podcast on the list.
It was only 5 podcasts.
It's only 5. we were popping. But yeah, so that's obviously the update. We're hoping that we're going to start posting every 2 weeks. At least for the start, anyway, because it's too much, isn't it?
It's a lot. It's not just that; it's a lot of editing as well. And obviously, finding time in between to do content for yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, to post your own personal page, and then obviously find stuff for this. It's a bit, but we'll give it a go. I mean, we're back since July, so that's a start, isn't it?
It's been 6-7 months.
It's like what is it now? The 7th. Start as you mean to go on type of thing, innit? But good to be back, man. Good to be back.
Yeah.
See what the crack is.
So first location, we're at Nose's Point in Seam. So the whole point in doing the outdoor photography show is that we're going to try and do the videos outdoors. But we're getting here.
And it's
pissing down.
Fucking raining.
Well, it's not pissing down. It's drizzling, but it's still raining.
Well, it's wet.
Great English weather, and then now we're getting some nice colour in the sky over there as well. And
my camera's in the car. Your cameras are gone.
My camera's there. Can't even get a photo.
Well, yeah. So what have you been up to? What went out?
Nothing much really. I've just been
It's Christmas night, Christmas New Year, and obviously you can't do anything photography-wise.
Obviously met up with you. Didn't work a couple of weeks ago for sunrise, which again didn't happen in this exact location.
But
we did.
But and it's a big but. We always come away with a couple of shots. I mean, there's no shots of me hardly, but there's more shots of you.
I think this ties into it. This is not what we're going to be talking about today, but it ties into a question that I see was, what was it? What to do? Oh, I've just had the question in my head there. It's gone. Like what to do when the things don't go to plan. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you shoot when things don't go to plan?
I'm thick as fuck. There's no point fucking saying this to me because I don't even know what I'm knackered.
No, but like, if you're planning on going out for a shoot and it doesn't go to plan, as in it didn't because the sunrise was horrendous. We still walked away, or I still walked away to some shots I was really happy with.
To be fair, I got a few shots as well, but it's only because I used your drone. I don't think we got a lens wide enough for me. But like you say, we're back. We're back in Nose's Point and Seam. The sunrise is a little bit better, albeit a bit of rain, but it is what it is, isn't it? Do you know?
And it's freezing.
Yeah, it's fucking cold today. It wasn't cold last week. It's cold this week.
So, obviously with the rebrand, we've changed all the names on social media and whatnot, and then sort of invited in a few new people, a few new members. So I thought we'd kick the year off with a question.
Yeah.
And the question was, and I think I might have worded it.
Let's see if you get the question right. Hang on, right. So, what is it? Word for word.
Word for word. I can't remember. What it is.
Right.
No, I'll see it. 2 seconds. I will get it because I can't remember that first sentence. Well, I'm not. is photography. Oh, it doesn't matter, just read it.
Right, is photography a dying trade, with everyone now classing themselves as a professional photographer? And is it making it harder for full-timers to find work? So So when you sent me this question, I was just like, yeah, bang on the money. Because I see a lot of photographers these days who get a camera, a few weeks down the line, they're like, all right, I'm taking half-decent photos, I'm a professional photographer now because I can just go charge people.
I worded it in a different way, saying, so it started exactly the same, as in people get a camera, they go and take some photos, someone in their family or whatever says, oh, whatever, they go and take a photo of their kids or whatever, it's amazing, let's just do this full time, start charging. And it's like, ooh. So then they start doing it, but they're not quite ready yet.
The thing is, like I said to you loads of times, is that when I first started doing weddings, it was my mate, and he came up to me and said, "Oh, like I like your photos, do a wedding for me." And I was just like doing weddings is completely different to doing landscapes. Do you know what I mean? Or anything like that's still is completely different to anything that's moving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when I first did it, obviously I didn't charge him because I was just like, this is completely out of my depth. You know what I mean? And to be fair, it still is out of my depth because I don't do it full time because I just think I couldn't do it full time and I wouldn't enjoy it. But you see a lot of people get it and they just think, oh, I can make money off this.
I think it's not the fact that they want to do it and make money, I think it's the fact that they're doing it when they're not ready, charging way under like the sort of threshold of when.
So say the average is 1,500 quid for a wedding.
They're charging like 300 quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, how can, I know there's going to be two sides to the story. How can these like professionals or people that's been doing it for 20 years compete?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you want good quality, you've got to pay the money. It's the same with anything, isn't it? Really, it's like, if you've built a big enough brand or branding yourself well, and you've been doing it for X amount of years, people are more than likely going to go to you. But that's not always the case because not everyone's got 1,500 quid.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it, obviously, it's the same with everything these days. If you go to Curry's and you see, I don't know, a lens, say for 600 quid, right? And you go to Amazon and you see the same lens for 500 quid. Do you do?
You know
what I mean? But obviously that's a lens, so obviously you know the quality of the lens is going to be the quality of the lens because it goes through QC and everything. But when you come to a service, so it's like people who I don't know, do house removals. If you've got a shitload of shit to take from your house and they're charging you 400 quid, fucking 400 quid, that's a lot of money that. But someone's doing it for 100 quid. But they're taking it and just dumping it in the fucking back road somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Instead of taking it to a proper site to get rid of. It's sort of like, wow, that's cheap, I'll go with the cheapest person. But your fucking shit's getting dumped somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of the... I know that's a bit of a shit fucking comparison, but it's the same with photographers. Do you know, you can go pay, like I know photographers that charge 2,500 quid for a wedding. Do you know?
Look at that one when I went to Sky and he was charging 6.5.
Yeah, the elopement,
Like, and that was only for like, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours worth of work.
And their stuff's like really good, but then I know lads that do it for 1,000 quid and it's still really good. Do you know what I mean? But I think the problem lies is that when you try to undercut everyone to get more business, like how can you undercut everyone to get more business and then put your prices up? Because you can't. Do you know what I mean?
I understand that there's people out there that's wanting to, you've got to start somewhere, and I don't know. I think I've worded it wrong. I think a few people pointed it out that it's not a dying trade; it's a booming trade. The problem is it's saturated.
Yeah. Well,
so you've got to stand out within that market and do something different to make you stand out more from the other people.
Well, look at our friend, for instance, Peter Gregg. Shout out to Peter.
Boy.
The stuff he does, I've not seen anybody else do.
That's what I mean. So he's like, he's cornered the market.
So
he's made it his own.
Yeah, and like he pointed out, like he gets most of his work now by word of mouth from other schools and stuff. Do you know, which is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, of course.
So you're not costing you anything to advertise them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I'm doing this. I think it's because my hands are cold. I'm trying to make my hands warm, but I'm like talking with hands.
Sort of PowerPoint, you know.
Yeah, no.
Start putting overlays on.
Yeah.
Like a weatherman.
Oh, mate, I'm not doing that VR lottery thing now. I've kept it, I've opened it up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it's just reminded me of that, like when the screen and you're moving the screen about and all that. Class. Anyway, that's...
Peter.
Yeah, so Peter, like you say, mate, his stuff speaks for itself. Do you know? And I think it's the same with, like, I don't know, fucking Nigel. Is it Hebbleweight?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know his. I can't say his second name. But his wedding stuff again speaks for itself. Adam Johnson, his wedding stuff speaks for
I
itself.
think another one like Drew
Do you know?
Dodd.
Yeah, another one.
He's like he does some stuff that other people don't do. So shout out to Drew as well.
Yeah. Drew. He's like, who the fuck is he?
But he does like an add-on to his wedding things that nobody else does.
Yeah.
And he charges what he charges, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you want the service, you've got to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what my photos are like, you've got to pay for it. Because a lot of people don't understand, and I think we've mentioned this before, a lot of like muggles don't understand that it's not just about taking a photo, because taking a photo is probably only like 2% of actually photography. The rest of it is like your admin, your accountants, your insurance, your clean, everything, travel.
Yeah.
People don't understand that there's a lot of cost.
I was saying this to a friend of mine the other day. He said, weddings, they must be easy. I said, they are easy. Like, what's more easier than going somewhere, talking to people and having a laugh at people? Yeah. Do you know, because that's like the fucking dream job. Yeah. But it's the editing. It's the stuff. Fucking everything afterwards. And you think, can't be fucking done with that.
It's all the stuff around the wedding. The wedding itself is generally pretty easy. Yeah. Not as you get like a bridezilla, which you do get now and again.
Well, do you know what? I don't mind saying that. I've had one bridezilla and I hated it. But afterwards, like she apologised. Do you know? And I think it's mainly it's just stress, isn't it? Do you know? At the end of the day, and obviously you're there to do.
They're paying a lot of money, and they want things to go the way they want them to go. At the end of the day, like you're the service, she's the client.
Yeah.
But
and to be honest, she'd probably watch this when it gets posted on the page, and she'd be like, "He's fucking talking about me, cheeky bastard." I know she did. I still talk to her now. You know.
Shout out to.
No. I'm not getting no fucking slander on fucking libel or whatever. You know. No, but yeah, it's like you say, mate. If you're paying for a service, I think it's the same with everything, mate. You go with what you can afford. But obviously, you've got to make sure that they're going to do a good job. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Any other questions? Any other answers? I should say.
Hold up.
Don't get the phone out. It should stop raining. What the hell's that in the sky there?
What the hell's what?
That?
It looks like one of these, like a paraglider thing with an engine on the back.
It's actually a UFO.
I know. Beam me up, Scotty.
Take me. That sounded really wrong.
We'll ask Steph, so to tell you, she'll bring you back.
Can we edit that out?
Yeah. So we've got a few people that have answered the question on the old Facey Ache. Ready?
The outdoor photography show.
Yeah. Nice bit of plug in there. Ready, Steady, Shoot Photography said, without a single qualification, I picked up a camera and started shooting.
Sorry, before you get into that question, there's another answer that coincides with what he's saying there. Right. So basically, someone mentioned that to be a professional photographer, you should have the qualifications to say you can be a professional photographer.
Right.
You might have to find it to find out exactly what he said.
Right.
But that's what he was saying. That a lot of like clients might request what's your qualifications.
Right.
So I sort of replied to say, you don't really need qualifications. Yes, there might be some jobs that require it, but I think as long as your work's good and you've got X amount of experience to call yourself a professional, you've been doing it full time.
Yeah.
Why would you need qualifications for? So going back to what Ready Steady Shoot said, he's sort of coinciding with what this other man said.
I think qualifications these days, a lot of people are overqualified to do a job that they. It's like I've got an uncle there. He's worked at this chemical plant for years and years and years. He's just retired anyway. Never had a qualification in his life. She's did the job for years and years and years. People who have to apply for it now need all sorts of qualifications. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think people are overqualified these days for a job that you don't need to do.
Depends on what type of photography you want to go into. Like, I understand that it'll help you do composition and understand your art. I mean, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and that's what they were talking about. They were saying exactly the same thing, was that to be a professional photographer, you need to go and study at uni or college or whatever. But they were saying university, to be honest, and would understand the art of photography, not the actual photography itself.
Well,
but I totally disagree, because I'm not a professional. People keep on saying, well, you've been doing this 14 years. Of course, I'm not a professional. I don't do it full time. I don't really charge. I don't do any client work. I do the odd wedding. I've done the odd wedding. But I would never, ever, ever. I still call myself a hobbyist, because I'm doing it for a hobby.
Like a lot of people on here have said that the definition of professional is where your sole income comes from, what you were doing. So if you're
bus driver, professional bus driver.
Yeah,
I don't know. It might sound silly, but you're
professional driver, aren't you? It's like me, professional driver.
Yeah.
Do you know? Obviously, I don't know.
I know what you mean. No matter what you're doing, as long as
if you're making money from it, it's your sole income. That is your profession.
Yeah.
Do you know? So, like comedian, for instance. Yeah. If you're making people laugh, and that's where your sole income.
Professional, different.
No, it's the same thing, isn't it? Because obviously, you've got a bit. If your profession is.
Does mean you're a professional at though.
I don't know. So
I just think it comes. I think you're right what you're saying, but I think it comes with experience as well.
Well,
I don't think you would call yourself a professional within your first 6 months of doing that thing.
No, well,
because you haven't got the experience of doing it.
Well, the way I look at it, mate, is that if you pick up a camera, say within 6 months you start shooting, right, and you start doing weddings, and you get wedding after wedding after wedding after wedding after wedding. Do you know? It's sort of like, I don't know. It's one of them age-old questions that's going to get asked all the time, and there's always going to be a debate about it, because there's going to be people that have been in the business for 20 years.
It's just opinions, isn't it?
Saying like, oh well, I've been doing this for 20 years. Like I've been making this as my living for 20 years. You come in and you're doing it, and then you've only been doing photography for 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it all depends, because obviously if you go to college, fair enough. But I think these days, who the fuck wants to go to college and university for fucking 3 or 5 years to do something that you can do in 6 months? do you know what I mean?
It depends on what type of line of work you want to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to what he was saying.
So anyway, he said he's found his own his own style and his own corner of the market type of thing. And they say photographers have been slating on socials for 4 years or something, because the old Reddits and Photoshops. I've never seen this stuff, mate, to be honest with you. I don't think so anyway. But now he makes a good bit of money off it. Selling prints and doing whatnot for people.
I think that's a problem. You do photography for you, don't you? And there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there that sort of just slate you for it's your style, it's what you like. You're not doing it for what other people like. You're doing it for you. My style is very different to what yours is.
Well, mate, do you know what it is? If you look at my page, right, I have not got a style. It's the same with weddings. When they say to me, what style is it? I send them all my examples of previous weddings, and no wedding's exactly the same. It's the same with every situation in life. It's like, we could be sat here now, and this time next week it's going to be different weather, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? There's no two same situations. Do you know? So I just say this. I don't have a style. This is what I do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's as simple as that. I don't give a flying fuck, to be honest with you. do you know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, next question. I've seen you looking. And then you got Lee. LGO Photography, shout out, Mr. Oliver. He's saying it's the same scenario for people who work in other trades.
Exactly what you said, isn't it?
Yeah, they buy a fucking set of ratchets or a set of fucking sockets. And a mechanic now. Do you know what I mean? Angry Ellis.
Angry?
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Angry Ellis. That's Angie, by the way.
Sorry, Angie. You tell him to you, can't you? Said she was charged £400 for a framed print of herself and her partner 15 years ago. She bought a camera, glued herself to it, YouTube. I thought, never again. I won't be getting charged a photo ever again.
The thing is, I think most people probably learn by YouTube, but I think it can be a good thing and it can be a toxic thing as well. Because, again, I was listening to another podcast the other day, and they were saying like they try and teach you everything, and like, oh, you go out and get this photo, and you go out and do this and do this and do it. But the people that's doing it might live in like Bali, out in the Maldives or in the Caribbean, or if you're American, the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It's like YouTube can be a good thing, but it can be a really bad thing as well. Trying to teach you stuff.
The thing is,
because it's all positive. No one teaches about the negative shit.
It's not just that. I think it's a lot of things on YouTube as well. So, like I said, I'll say there's 1,500 photographers on YouTube. 1,500 photographers shoot differently.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, what I teach you might be not what I don't know.
I teach you.
You teach me. Do you know what I mean? It's like you pick up bad habits off people.
Yeah, I understand
that
learning YouTube is in learning your camera or a camera, but I think that's as far as it goes.
Really, like fuck
I'm still recording on that.
I think so. And then you've got Adam Lang. He's a good street photographer. I wouldn't really class as a professional photographer as someone with qualifications. I'm seeing terrible work from people with degrees, and it's just saying at the end of the day, it's art.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's subjective, and it's people's opinion. And if you think you're good enough, then I suppose who else is to tell you?
Yeah, and like you say, he doesn't advertise. He said he's been in touch with like people, go in touch with him through social to do work for him. You know, so. But I think, like you say, every
I must be doing something wrong. I've been doing this 14 years. No one reaches out to me. People just send us, can I buy your photos for NFTs?
Yeah.
That's how many messages I get.
By the way, I'm a millionaire. But yeah, I think it's like it's going to be an age-old question that could be asked over and over and over again, and debated over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sort of like.
But like I say, I think I've worded it wrong. It's not a dying trade. It's a booming market. It's just really saturated. The thing is, there's going to be more and more people come to do it because everyone's doing photography on their phone now. Right? There's a point thinking, I want to like take it to the next level. So that's when they go into like.
To be fair, photography now with phones. I think we've covered this before in a previous podcast about mobile photography and stuff. Like they're so good now. They're so good. Like I always take selfies. I love my selfies. Me.
They take you to quite a high level. They just don't take you into like not yet anyway, but they don't take you into like. It depends on what you want to do. I'm just going to take Astro. They don't take. Yes, they can do Astro.
Yeah, it's not to the next level.
They don't take the next level of Astro. So it's like basics, isn't it? Really. Like basic stuff. There'll probably be a way around. There'll probably be apps out there that can do certain things that a camera can do. And then you've got the Android versus Apple scenario of like Android does more than what Apple does on a camera, but iPhone's like colour range is better than Android apparently. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's just again.
I just think it's all. Online, I think it's just all the science of the fucking software shit.
What's going on here?
I know. I'm fucking wetter than Otto's pocket. But yeah, like I say, it's not a bad question to ask on the first down back.
It's got people talking.
Yeah, of course it is. Interaction.
Definitely. Considering that our page is literally not long started and it's got nigh on no members in it, and I think there was quite a lot of responses, but a lot of the responses that we got were the same.
Yeah.
I mean, they were quite repetitive, so that's obviously why there wasn't much debate.
Yeah.
When I went going on, but yeah.
So another thing we're going to start this year is a thing called the Photographer's Journal as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which is, in a nutshell, it's obviously the interview that we used to do before. So we used to get people on and interview them. But with doing video, we're going to showcase their work as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get them on video, showcase their work, and just ask them like, what do you like about the photo? How did it make you feel? The story behind the photo. I think it's the same thing as like what Peter McKinnon does.
Yeah, he does.
Because
he talks about his own photos though.
Oh, does he talk about his own photos?
His photos. I think he's only released one episode of his podcast, so the first one is literally him and somebody else talking about his photos, where it's sort of the same, but we're going to be talking about
someone else.
What's going on with this rain? It's getting heavier.
I think we need a brolly just for the camera. But yeah, like you say, that would be interesting because obviously I like to hear stories about people's photos and stuff, and like a little way of thinking about stuff.
Even the editing style as well. Like,
Yeah.
Sort of give a brief introduction into how they edit and why their style is the way it is type of thing. So
yeah, I remember being in a before, and I was talking to James Fortune, and he was saying to me, he said, like, why don't you just shoot photos like with the story behind them?
Yeah.
Like do something in the in like local community, and just take photos of like local stuff, of how it makes you feel, and do you know, stuff like that. So
that's what photography's all about, isn't it? Storytelling.
Yeah, so I think fuck's wrong with you?
The rain's doing stuff. It's still recording anyway. So.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good because I like I say, like to hear other people's stories and how it made them feel, stuff like that. It's like what I'm looking for. I want to get Jim on.
Yeah.
Because I want to know why he wanted to do fucking all of the castles in Northumberland. The fucking Raji.
I had that out. I was telling him, like, if it was a good few years ago, I was thinking to myself, something I would love to do is to photograph all the castles.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't live in Northumberland, and that would take years.
It's a lot of photography. That,
and then obviously, then I actually met Jim, and he was like, "Oh, this is I was like, "You bastard."
Yeah. to be fair,
he's actually I've actually given him a tip, an idea to do something. Whether he does it or not, I'm not going to say it just because in case it does, it doesn't happen. But I think if he does do it, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
No.
Oh yeah. I think it'll do really well. So hopefully, he can get this project finished this year and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I think again, like there's something that I wanted to do in season 1. We'll call it season 1. The podcast season 1,
episode 1,
is the Being Brutal series.
Oh, like I said in the group,
Can he went now?
Like this year, I am going to be brutal. Like, so if you send us photos, I am going to be brutal. And I've got a bit of a reputation for being
Yeah. So the idea of this is what we wanted to do is to put a post out on social, get people to send, say, I don't know, 5 photos in, and then we will literally slate them photos. Or not.
Nah.
No, but
we've got to slate them.
If it's a good photo, might not need slate.
I'm going to find something wrong with it.
But no, it's just, I think sometimes you need a lot in this community. I think criticisms,
and a lot of people cannot take it, and it fucking grinds my gears because
can't take it. People can't give it either.
Yeah, what's the point?
You're never going to learn. You're never going to grow.
Artistic, if you're going to put your picture out in like the public domain and not take advice on board of what people are trying to say to you.
And
do you know what I mean?
I think the hard thing is sometimes when you're doing things via like written message, comment, that type of like thing. Sometimes it can come across in the wrong way.
Yeah.
People take it the wrong way, even though that's not what you might mean. But like I say, you've got to have criticism on it. I mean, even if like say I've been shooting 14 years, and I'm not perfect. Far from it. I want people to say, well, why the fuck did you do that for?
Well,
do it like try it this way. You do it to me, somehow. You have done. Try it this way. Do it like you do anything. All right. Or even it's something as simple. And I know you've picked up on mine and other people's photos a lot. You've got a dust spot there. Yeah. You've got a rain spot there.
Yeah.
And I know it's not really criticism. You're just pointing out something that needs to be corrected. But people would even take that the wrong way on Facebook.
The way I see it, if you don't like if you're going out right and you're shooting, take the photo's nice, right, and you post it on social medias, like why would you want to post it on social media with the rain spotting? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been there.
Somebody else will pick up on it.
I've been there fucking dozens of times, hundreds of thousands of times, in fact, where I've been editing photos and you go blind. Yeah. Do you know? Although you can see the fucking picture, you can see the screen, you're sort of blind to like the tiniest little specks.
I think sometimes you're too busy concentrating on the actual edit of the photo and not actually going like really fine tuning.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was using my old laptop, I couldn't see now because the laptop was shit. Like the screen was knocked, and so it was like there'd been loads of times like you said. So the state that sky, there are 20 dust spots on it.
Well, you've been doing photography for 14 years, mate.
But I can take it. I wanted. I'd rather think that I was thriving on the fact that someone was giving us good or bad criticism on a photo.
Like I say, mate, for me, I think if you're doing an art and you're putting out there, you've got to expect people to say something about it, whether they like it or not. Do you know? And I think, I don't know, can you imagine going to an art studio, right, and all the art's on the walls, and everyone's like, oh, this is brilliant, this is brilliant, this is brilliant, this is brilliant. But in their head, they're like, that's pretty shit, to be fair. Do you know what I mean?
But again, the art's subjective. You're not going to like everything, so if you don't like it, just say it.
I think you should just be allowed to just, like, blurt it out.
Yeah, and you're not being you're
not being horrible.
No.
Because obviously, it's like I don't know, photography for me, like you get your sour spots.
I think it's
all like it's like a cliquey community. I think. Do you know?
And when we're talking about being brutal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be brutal now because I know last year when we were doing them and we were talking about certain groups and whatnot, and we were saying, I'm not going to say a group. Fucking Walker. The fucking Walker group. It's one of the most horrible, fake groups that you can possibly be in. Because it doesn't matter how bad or good the photo is, every single you might get. I'm just going to average on 100 comments on that photo, and it's shit. It needs work, whatever it might be. But everyone's like, "Oh, it's amazing!" So they're continuously posting this horrendous work, and because they're not getting any not getting any criticism on that photo, they're never ever going to improve ever. And yes, and a lot of people that in that group are not necessarily photographers. They're more sort of maybe phone snappers or whatever you want to say. They're not like, do you know what I mean? It's not that type of group, which I totally get. So a lot of people might do editing on their phone, but maybe there was somebody last year they do the Snapseed edits. I don't know if you can remember. Can you remember them?
Snapseed edits? No, what's that?
The Snapseed, the app. Snapseed.
Right. I don't know. I've never used it.
Let's say Snapseed is like a free photo editing app,
like a Lightroom type of thing.
Yeah, but it like does you can like do loads of mad weird edits with it.
Right.
And he was constantly posting out. It was like, oh, I know this might not be for everyone, which is fair enough. But I was thinking, what the hell have you done to that photo? You've turned it was a half decent shot into that.
Yeah.
What on earth have you changed the skies get purple and the water's green? Like, if anyone's actually been to Walker, you'd know that the water isn't fucking green.
Well, I don't know.
Well, it's not turquoise, nice green. It might be sewage green. But do you know what I mean? It's like, just take it, and then soon as you, and I've done it a few times, soon as you have put like a criticism on that photo, everyone just like jumps on you and like, oh, how dare you do this, and why? How like, I'm not being a. I might sound like I'm a dick, but I'm actually not being a dick. I'm trying to help. But then someone was saying, if that person didn't ask for criticism, don't give it. Yes, fair enough. But like what you said, you're putting the photo on a public domain where everybody can see it.
Yeah. Like
I'm doing the hand thing now.
Yeah. George, I do point. I understand, mate. Like, I think there's just no need for it in this day and age when you go on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or wherever you want to put photos.
Oh, I'm interrupting you again because I'm on a rant. Sorry. And another thing with it.
Here we go.
If anyone's listening to this that runs Facebook groups, take fucking note because honestly it pisses me off. Why are you running a Facebook group like a fucking business when it's literally just like a hobby group or whatever it might be? I run the drone group. I'll plug it, Northeast Drone UK, and there's literally no rules. And because of that, everyone's a bit.
There's no harassment. There's no
but people can post their page, people can post their business, and because there's like minimal rules, it runs better. People know that they're not. People know as long as they start spamming, they'll be deleted. But people don't. So there's I think it's Love Scotland, that group. You can join that group as your photography page. And you can post as your photography page, which I think is great. But there's a lot of groups like Walker that won't allow you to do it. Like, why? I'm not promoting, I'm posting as my page. I'm not like posting a link to my page. Like, why? Why do they run them that way for? You're supposed to be there to like support each other and help each other, and that's not the way that everyone's just like, I don't know. It's annoying. I just don't know why. people want. I mean, I know we've mentioned that we're not really bothered about numbers and growing and all that sort of stuff. It's nice when it happens, but you're never going to do it if you've got these idiots that run these groups like
Well,
businesses.
this is it, isn't it? It's just that I just think if you've got rules, fair enough having rules and all this, but like if you want to have a club or I don't know, sell something or whatever, like why not?
It's the same as
you bring traffic to your page, aren't you?
exactly, yeah.
You know?
So I mentioned the podcast thing in the water group before last year, saying, "Would you mind posting this for us? It's a photography podcast. I'm not promoting like myself or a business really. I'm promoting a podcast that we're hoping that we're going to do like sort of on location. So the idea here is to do these podcasts like this, but I also want to do like vlog side things. So if we're doing a shoot, we can podcast it and explain exactly what we're doing. And now because we're doing video, we can actually show you out the back of our cameras and settings and stuff. So that was the whole point why I reached out to the admin and say it'd be really good for some of the members to sort of get on board and get people listening. And then someone invited us to a group 2 or 3 days ago. So I messaged her and I said, look, this is the crack. And she was like, I know you say you're not allowed to post, promote yourself and links and all that sort of stuff. But I just asked permission and she was like, oh, I don't see a problem with that because it's a podcast. She was like quite supportive actually, she was quite good. So that post went out. It's only a new group, so I think one person commented on it, which is fine. But it's good that they can recognise the fact that certain things might be allowed. You can understand if like you constantly backing your link out. You can understand that because it's annoying for people.
I think.
Sorry, I went on a proper rant there.
Sorry, mate. I'm trying to gather all the information out. So I'm on a few pages, not necessarily photography pages, more like neighbourhood pages, or like shit like that. Like once a week, I like to do like a advertise your business.
Yeah. A few of them do that with the local ones,
Which I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Obviously, that one day you're allowed to post wherever you want, type of not wherever you want, but like sort of plug yourself.
Yeah. I think. Where's that UFO?
Oh my god!
Now that you've said that, I'm sure there was actually, I don't know if it was Let's Talk Photography Northeast or this guy. It was a local group to us, and they used to do that. I think it was, I don't know if it was once a week or once a month, and they used to say share your Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
But you had to do it in the thread, not the page.
Yeah. That's what we could do on our page. To be fair with you.
Yeah.
I think maybe I follow Friday or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously post your pictures on our page. And
Yeah, I'm not bothered about that. Like, I don't want it on a thread. I want it like as a post.
Yeah.
Because the thing with a thread is, are you going to scroll through hundreds and hundreds of comments? You're not, are you?
No.
So if it's a singular post that someone's put a photo on that you can physically big, you can see it with a link. Done.
Yeah, like pin the post at the top.
Yeah.
And obviously whoever's on there, you just put whatever you want.
Yeah. And it's helping other people out because yes, this is a podcast, but people might have not necessarily want to promote their photography page. They might want to promote like another business that they have. I'm not bothered. It does have to be photography related. Not really. They might, because it's an outdoor photography show. They might have a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like an outdoor clothing brand or whatever, or something silly. Stop
You're
laughing. What are you laughing for?
You're trying to get some work.
I am, yes.
Maybe don't do fat bastard.
Sponsor us, please.
Okay, that close for us, mate. Might put 2 parachutes together. But yeah, like I say, this year we're gonna try and smash it anyway, best we can. Obviously, we work commitments and obviously life commitments and stuff. But yeah,
I think by doing it once every 2 weeks, it's just going to give us a little bit more freedom. I mean, we might put one a week, depending on what we're doing. Like if we're going out for a specific day for a shoot, we'll just podcast it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it'll be a little bit more relaxed. It'll not be as like formal. Do you know what I mean? It'll be more like.
I think all our podcasts are relaxed.
No, but I mean, we're not going to be sitting. I mean, there'll be sometimes where, like the other day, we could have podcasted that where we took photos there and explaining what we were doing.
Well, like I said, on the beach. Never seen no one do that. So
don't see it.
Yeah, we can do a little bit of something like that.
and then do a little bit of a walkabout type thing. Or
You know, I feel like,
say if anyone's listening, drop some ideas over. It's like things that you like specifically want to learn or want to listen to, because we end up starting with good intentions and then end up like going off on a tangent like what I've just done.
To be fair, it's just like the fucking start of January, isn't it? You start off on good intentions.
Yeah, it is that.
Just fucking falls off the cliff, like my diet.
Yeah. Start on Monday.
Yeah, and like you said, wet as fuck now, so we'll just call that.
Yeah.
But yeah, good to be back. Nice to see you. Well, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Hopefully it's nice to see us.
But yeah, take it easy and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, till the next one.
See you later.
See you later, mate. Bye bye. Bye bye.